Hello. I'm hoping I won't run out of battery power with this. I left the batteries in and I don't know how long they last. I'm going to do a series on meditation, and I finally got the last piece. I think I have. Who knows how many pieces there really are to this, but I was having problems. I've been meditating for a little over a year now, and I'm having trouble getting what Alan Wallace in this book, which I highly recommend. Well, it's kind of technical and hard to read, but what he calls vividness. I work in the inner landscapes, and I have 3 at current count. I guess you call them power animals or spirit animals or guides that I work with. Temule, a wolf; Henny, a dolphin; and Ahuna, a fox. And Ahuna was the first one that came to me. He came to me in a dream reentry session. And I never asked for or sought out any of these entities. They just appeared, and I ended up doing different kind of work with them. With Ahuna, I worked on my inner landscape and my chakra landscapes, and with Henny lately I've been going under the water, and I don't understand what it means, but I've been dealing with these black spikes. In any case, I've been having trouble seeing things clearly in my mind's eye. Normally, I see things as clearly as I see the real world around me, and that helps me to focus and stay centered on the task that I'm doing. But I'm having trouble with that, and I think I know why now. In this book, which I also recommend, she's a little mistaken, I think, on her meditation instructions. It's Magical Knowledge, if you couldn't read the handwriting, by Josephine McCarthy. She tells us to focus on an inner flame over some water, and to retain that image in our mind until we see it clearly, and then we can enter the inner flame and go beyond. Well, here's the problem with that. When you do that, there's tension, there's stress, because you're summoning up an image and you're trying to retain it in your mind's eye. And he just got through telling me in here, and this guy I know knows more about meditation than McCarthy does. He's been doing it for years. Because of that, there's stress and there's strain, and you can't be peaceful and relaxed. The thing just flashed at me. I don't know if it's going off or not. So I want to go through the pieces that I have come up with and teach you how to meditate, and teach you properly outside of any particular tradition, but to get you started so that you can understand how to meditate. And I'm going to call in some teachers and the stuff that I've learned from them. And I will start today with just the basic introduction of meditation. Now, there are 2 kinds of meditation. Well, I'd call them 2 kinds, but in reality there's 2 different kind of results with them. And I think he describes it again in this book pretty well. There's a kind where you just kind of sink inward, and what I consider it to be is a laxity. And I can't remember what his other word is, but there's the opposite to that, where you're overactive. But you just kind of fade in. Either you're following a mantra like I am, or something else, or deep meditation, where you just kind of fall into it, and your mind goes blank. And this is kind of the meditation process that Deepak Chopra, or Chopra, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, that's kind of what he teaches, and it's not correct, I don't believe. Or it's not being taught completely, or I didn't understand it correctly. It's any possibility there, and I'm not criticizing any particular teacher per se, but as far as I can tell, what Chopra is teaching Mr. Chopra is teaching is not correct. When you are meditating, you need to be attentive. You need to have an object that you're focused on, and you need to retain your attention on that. Your mind has to be engaged in focusing on the object. You cannot disengage your mind. It can lead to mental instability and issues in your mind. You don't want that, nor do you want it to where you're meditating and your mind is going all over the place and you're thinking about all the things you have to do and all the stuff you got to take care of, or you're going after all the things you what Yogini calls scenery. You're going after all the stuff you see in your mind's eye, and just jumping around, from one shiny thing to the next. You don't want to be doing that either. And what he encourages in this book, and there's a couple of different things you can focus on, but what he encourages is the breath. So for our first meditation session, in this first meditation video, I'm going to lead you in a meditation on the breath. That is the best way to begin. So first off, you need to be seated comfortably. You do not have to sit in a lotus position with your feet, the soles of your feet facing up to the sky in all kinds of twisted, weird positions. Sit in a chair. If you can't sit in a chair, lay on your back somewhere, preferably where you don't associate with sleep, because we're not trying to sleep, we're trying to meditate. But sit in some comfortable way. What I have done here is I have a pillow on a folded blanket, which allows my rear end to be higher than my legs, so I can sit here cross-legged for a while. Our goal is to sit eventually for 24 minutes or so a day, and we start and we just increment by 3-minute intervals. You probably will not, when you're first starting out, make it to that point, and that's perfectly fine. What I used to do is just sit until I kind of felt like I was done, and that could range anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. And you have to do this consistently at a set time each day. So if you got to get up a little early before you go to work to do it, do that. If it works better doing it before you go to bed, do that. If you can do it twice a day in that capacity, do that. Aim for the 24 minutes, increasing by 3-minute intervals. Slowly, take your time. You're not marathon. This is a marathon, not a race. So take your time. And at first, for now, just sit for as long as you can. If it's only 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, that's great. And what we're going to do is, there's 2 positions to place your hands, and you probably can't see on my legs here, but one is to hold your hands like this. This is an opening or receiving gesture, and this is what I would use if I was working with my spirit animals. It allows you to receive energy. And then the other position is taught in Zazen meditation. Your non-active hand over your active hand, thumbs touching, just like this, and just gently relaxed in your lap. Those are the two positions for your hand. For now, we'll do this. And best to close your eyes, just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe through our nose. Now, if you're not able to breathe through your nose, that's okay, use your mouth. But try to breathe through your nose and try to keep the tip of your tongue just behind your front teeth or on the roof of your mouth as you breathe in. And just breathe in naturally and watch your breath as you breathe in. And feel where the air is entering your nostrils or your mouth as you breathe in. And feel as the air goes into your body and down to your stomach. And take 2 deep breaths, and if there's any area in your body that feels stressed, just kind of shake it if you need to a little bit, and then sit still. You don't want to move once you're starting to meditate. And then breathe into that area and imagine it just relaxing as you exhale. Imagine the tension exhaling with it, and imagine it just kind of melting down and relaxing. But we start with 2 deep breaths. I am just a normally relaxed person, so I'm not tense. You can see that there's just no tension here. But some people are tense. You don't want to be tense. You need to just be relaxed, floppy, loose. The only tension is you're trying to keep your back straight, but you're not trying to do it when you're sitting in military attention and pain. You're just kind of sitting as straight as you can and straighten it up more as you go along. Again, take your time until you're sitting relaxed, sitting in a straight up position. So we breathe in 1 deep breath. We feel it going down into the belly, into the diaphragm. When our tongue is placed behind our front teeth and before our mouth, we're breathing through our nose. It goes right into your diaphragm. So if you're a singer, you already know this kind of breathing. Exhale. You can exhale through your nose and mouth or your nose. And do it one more time. And exhale. And just kind of do a mental check. How is your body feeling? Is it relaxed? Is there any parts that are tense? If they are, go ahead and breathe into them. And then once you feel that you're relaxed, just start breathing in naturally and just observe your breath. Now, do that for as long as you are able to do it. You can go ahead and stop this video and resume watching after you're finished. Just pay attention to the breath going into your nose and the sensations there, and the feeling of your breath going into your nose or your mouth, you're breathing through your mouth and coming into your body, and just observe the breath. And as thoughts come, and it doesn't matter what the thoughts are, if they come, acknowledge that they're there, do not judge, do not criticize, do not yell at yourself, do not breathe louder to try to block out the thoughts. Just continue to breathe naturally, and just return back to the breath whenever you realize that you've gone off of it. And this is the same for any mantra, any focus device that you use. Just take your time. If a thought comes, let it come. And as soon as you remember to come back to your breath, come back to it. And eventually your breath will become finer and finer, and you'll hardly be able to notice it at all. And that's okay. Just keep trying to pay attention. Not trying, but keep paying attention to that, to even the minor fluctuations of it. Alternatively, you can say a mantra such as I am 3 times in sets of 3. So I am, I am, I am. You can do that. You can also use a candle or a stick of incense in front of you, and you can stare at that if you wish to. You want to make sure that you're not going to be disturbed during this time, whatever you are using, and be very careful if you're using a candle or a stick of incense. You don't want to burn down the house around you if you fall asleep or fall into a deep trance state or whatever might happen. But chances are you will just have wandering thoughts when you first start out, and you'll just remember eventually and then come back, which is okay. Another way that you can focus is to count. So, in Zazen counting, with each inhale, you just count 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10, and then with each inhale at 10, you go back down to 1, 9, 8, 7, 6, and all the way down to 1. And just keep going in this rotating cycle. Those are the 3 ways to do it. I'm going to recommend breath meditation, and we're going to go into some more details here shortly, but I got to check and see this camera's recording this and check on my battery status and everything. So that should get us started for now. You might feel sensations in your body. For me, I feel kind of a rotating around, like I'm rotating around. You might even see my body move that way. I'm going to watch this video and see if that's what happens. It might just be inside. It's more than likely your actual energetic self, or your real self, or your soul, or whatever you want to call it, that's just moving around. Some people project out of their body while they are meditating. That is okay. It's scary. If you notice that you've left your body, don't freak out. Just gently float down toward your body. You should snap right into place, and there shouldn't be a problem at all. I haven't had that experience myself. But these are some of the things that you might encounter. Meditation will give you better focus and clarity with what you're doing during the day. Your dreams will be more vivid and clear, and you'll be able to sleep better at night, and it increases a lot of it just does a whole bunch of things with your mind. It actually rewires your brain in a very good way. And it's just really beneficial. I would never stop meditating since I started a little over a year ago, I think. It has just done so much for me. It also kind of affects my life because I take my time in my life and I don't rush. And I'm not, scatterbrained. I'm focused on one task at a time in the present moment. And this is all very good to being efficient and accomplishing things. You're not as efficient when you're trying to do multiple things at once as you are if you're just doing one thing at a time. So there's a lot of advantages to this, and this will help you with stress levels as well, and a bunch of other things. It's better than medication. If you're depressed, it'll help you with that as well. It's just really good for you to do. So I encourage you to continue in this, and I will be back with another video and some more details on meditation.